So, welcome to video 6. Instead of looking at me talking rubbish, I thought I'd just show you the room. Ignore all the gaps and the random bits. Basically, we've just finished our first layer of plasterboard. I had a few little things I had to fix. I got this point over here wrong, so I had to move it, which wasn't too tough. And when I did the plasterboard, put all the boards in, and then this cable, when I put the hole in, the cable wasn't there, so I had to do the same again and cut them, but they're fine. You just did this. So I just recut it, moved it across, and then in a second I'm going to do filler on these, and then I did the same over there, just cut the hole much bigger, found the cable, and then put it all back. Generally though, window, all of this, eight spotlights, they all line up, they're all pretty much where they would be. 6 plugs, I'll show you, they go around the room in different spots, one down here, there's one behind this board, there's 2 at the front, there's one behind where the TV's going to go, and then there's one behind this board as well. I think the one behind this board is probably going to get used partly for a heater, which is going to go under here, or the heater might even go over here and move the plug slightly forward. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, it's all going okay so far. I learned a lot about it, so I think the second layer that I'm going to do should go smoother / better. And I know where not to use full sheets and where to use full sheets so that it's a bit better just spacing out wise, but generally, yeah, that's where we're at. There's nothing crazily interesting. I'm gonna, at some point when I want to take a break, I'm gonna have to do a few bits of sealant, a lot more around the window over here and around the door, and then before I get to these bits, there's a few bits where the wall and the frame weren't very straight. So when I put a straight board in, there's like tiny gaps, but there's none of them are crazy because I've filled the big ones with big bits of board. So even though in the video they might look huge, none of them are actually that massive. That's probably the biggest one. But before I do that, I'll put filler in so we've not got gaps everywhere underneath boards. Yeah, so that it's a bit more, but the roof's really well, it's all lined up. It's more around these edges where when I've put the board up, it's not gone against the edge. And then the only other thing to show you is the wiring. So I started doing the wiring for the TV. It's just 2 HDMIs and a cat cable. Basically, it's going to come out behind the TV. One's a video send and one's going to be an arc return. And then so they come out here and then they come out in a gap that I've cut underneath. And the idea is that I'm going to use the hollow skirting board stuff that you get to run it down the room to about in front of that pillar. Maybe if I'm really smart, I might put it behind the pillar, but I think I'm not sure. But basically it's going to go through that so that all my cabling comes out, because my sofa is going to go across here looking down the room. And that will mean that if the cabling comes out, if I'm really good, I'll put it behind. That means actually when you're in the living room part, there'll be no cabling anywhere. So I can run all my stuff, but then I can hide everything at the back like a little kind of control center. So when you come in, you just switch all that on and then it'll work, and only the TV and the speakers will be in front. That's the idea. But I had to run that cable in because I was putting the plasterboard in. Yeah, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to have speaker cable in, and then a subwoofer cable, and probably I think one more cat cable, and they're just going to come out in the corners. It just means I've got tidy speaker cable, and my subwoofer will probably go in the right hand corner down here or somewhere in that area. And then there'll be a cat cable that will sit here just because I want it there for anything that changes in the future. Like if I was to run wireless speaker system, or if I put in like a wireless sub, or if I run any kit from the front, it means I can run it from the front and then send the signal to the back quite easily, and it all works like that if I've got a spare cat cable. So yeah, so cabling's done. The first bit of the cabling's done, and the cabling's not done. That's going to be the fun part probably of the project. Boards are all done for first layer. Yeah, feels a strange stage to get to, but good stage. And we'll batter on now for probably the next, I think, 2 weeks, I reckon, of the schedule that I've got to do my second layer. And yeah, second layer. And then from there, I'm not going to do all the, I'll see what I'm time. I'd quite like to get the flooring in because the stuff's everywhere outside. So yeah, get that done. Plasterboard, floor, everything. My son came and saw it this morning. He's very excited. He started calling it a cinema room. I think I said that in another video. So yeah, very cool. Right, hopefully next update is at least we've got the roof done again, but maybe be most of the way or almost finished with the walls, but we'll keep you updated. Right, see you later.